In a bustling metropolis, the CEO of a sprawling business empire returned to his rural hometown to inspect a local factory. While passing by a small tea stand, he was drawn in by a familiar and enticing aroma. Unable to resist, he thickened his skin and asked the tea vendor for a sip. The moment he tasted the tea, a wave of nostalgia washed over him. This flavor was unmistakable. It was the very same taste his late wife used to create years ago. Every evening when he came home from work, his wife would prepare a pot of tea just for him. Each time, he would compliment her skill. But now, as he savored this tea again, he found himself so overwhelmed that he jokingly said he could eat the teacup just to relive the memory. The tea vendor, startled, tried to stop him and said with a smile, "You must be joking, sir. If your wife heard that, she'd be upset." The CEO's expression turned somber. He replied softly, "My wife passed away many years ago. I never thought I'd taste this flavor again." 20 years earlier, in a bid to improve their lives, the CEO had decided to leave their small village to work in the city. Before leaving, he entrusted his family heirloom jade bracelet to his wife, promising her he'd return. He left with their young daughter, but fate had other plans. Tragedy struck when his wife heard from neighbors that he had fallen into a river and died. Devastated by the news, she went into premature labor. With no husband to support her, she was left with no choice but to leave the village with their newborn son and struggle to make ends meet in a nearby town. Meanwhile, the CEO had survived the accident but returned to find his wife and son gone. His wife's friends assumed she had died in childbirth, and no one could tell him otherwise. Heartbroken, he left, eventually building a massive fortune over the following decades. Now, 20 years later, fate had brought them together again, though neither recognized the other. What bridged the gap was the tea, its familiar taste unlocking memories long buried.